Good day, students. Last time, we discussed the practitioners and professionals of social work, wherein we learned its roles and functions that help individuals, groups, or communities to cope up with the changes and conflicts within the society and resolve their complications. Also, areas of specialization, which gave us the idea that social workers have a collective or combination of tasks to perform in order for them to accomplish their goals. Lastly, competencies, skills, and personality qualities needed by the profession to perform their various roles and skills. After discussing the concepts included in the disciplines of social work, now we will move on to clientele and audiences in social work, particularly the purpose, ethical considerations, and types of clientele for individual, group, and community. So now, let's talk about working with individuals. In this part, the individual is the principal client, and efforts of helping are focused on him or her. This could also mean as the client-centered approach focuses on providing unconditional positive regard, empathy, and genuine support in order to help the client reach a more congruent view of himself or herself. With that, we consider people or an individual as a biopsychosocial being which he or she made up of three subsystems: physical, psychological, and social. According to the biopsychosocial model, interactions between people's genetic makeup, biology, mental health and personality, psychology, and socio-cultural environment, social world, contribute to their experience of health or illness. The biological influences on mental health and mental illness are varied and include genetics, infections, physical trauma, nutrition, hormones, and toxins. On the other hand, the psychological component looks for potential psychological explanations for a health problem, such as lack of self-control, emotional turmoil, or negative thinking. And lastly, social and cultural factors are conceptualized as a particular set of stressful events, being laid off, for example, that can differentially impact mental health depending on the individual and his or her social context. The biopsychosocial theory speculates that each one of these factors is not sufficient to create health or mental illness, but the interaction between them determines the course of one's development. In line with this, the social worker needs to acquire knowledge of human behavior, responses, and methods. He or she must understand that the person's behavior is the manifestation of his own adaptation to his or her condition. The assessment of a person's strengths and defenses are essential in helping the client as it provides insights on how the client may be helped. In this junction, we will move on to the modes of adaptation. 1. Fight. A physical or verbal projection of feeling towards others. 2. Flight. Physically moving away from problems. 3. Pairing. Entry to a relationship with other person who is stronger, stable, and has the capacity to provide help. As we deepen our knowledge regarding clientele's factors that affects his or her behavior, now we will identify who are the clients who may need social work services. 1. Children. Abandoned, in conflict with the law, or serious ill. 2. Out-of-school youth. 3. Socially disadvantaged women. 4. Solo parents. 5. Persons with disabilities and elderly. 6. Indigenous people. 7. Internally displaced persons. It's are persons or groups of persons who have been forced or obliged to flee or to leave their homes or places of habitual residence, in particular as a result of or in order to avoid the effects of armed conflict, situations of generalized violence. 8. Survivors of natural calamities or disasters. Let us now talk about the types or typology of clients in casework. First, voluntary or walk-in clients. Clients who opted to voluntarily seek services of assistance due to a difficulty or problem. Second, Involuntary or reach out clients. Clients who may not consider getting help if they consider their situation as normal and will somehow survive. Third, referred clients. Clients assisted by other related organizations. Those are the typology of clients in social casework. As we move forward to our discussion, we will now discuss the relationship factors that might affect the service or performance of the social worker and at the same time the client's participation. 1. Transference. Project irrational feelings and attitudes from the past onto people in the present. 2. Counter-transference. A worker unconsciously projects previously experienced feelings onto a client. 3. Reality. A realistic and objective perception of existing conditions. With all of these processes, we should also identify and recognize the ethical standards of the client-worker relationship. 1. Acceptance. 2. Non-judgmental attitude. 3. Individualization. 4. Purposeful expression of feelings. 5. Controlled emotional environment. 6. Confidentiality. 7. Self-determination. Let us now talk about working with groups and organizations. The question is, what do we mean by social group work? Social group work is a process and method is rooted in a sociological concept that a person is a social being who has the inclination and need to associate with other human beings. A group can be utilized as a target for change, medium for change, and agent of change. As we know the meaning of social group work, now let us move forward to the different purposes of social group work. 1. Enhance the social adjustment of the individual and develop social consciousness. 2. Provide experiences that give individuals a chance to create, share, and express themselves. 3. Help individuals and groups to take responsibility for their behavior and become participating members of society. 4. Provide opportunities for planned group exercises. As we move forward in deepening our knowledge regarding social group work, let us discuss the principle of social group work according to Tracker 1965. First, plan group formation. Possess conscious design and potential for social growth of its members. 2. Specific objectives. Objectives must effectively meet the needs and concerns of the group. 3. Purposeful worker-group relationship. Established acceptance between group members. 4. Continuous individualization. Understand and accept subgroups and individuals to meet varying levels of need of members. 5. Guided group interaction. Harnessing, direction, and conscious utilization of the natural process of social interaction. 6. Democratic self-determination. Right to make choices and capacity to make decisions. 7. Flexible functional organization. Flexibility in formal organizations to be adaptive in any changes. 8. Progressive program experiences. Need to engage in program experiences to evolve developing competence. The next topic that we are going to discuss is something to do with the typology of groups and their goals. This is according to McGlitt 1995. Growth group. The dominant goal is the personal growth of the participants in all aspects. Treatment group. Help solve individual problems and appropriately respond to problems/needs. Social group. Provide opportunities for social relationships. Interest group. Answer unmet interests/needs of the group members through the appropriate program of activities and services. Play/recreation group. Provide pleasurable activities through games, dances, and other leisure time activities. As we know the typology of group and their goals, let us discuss working with communities. In this topic we will know the meaning, the concepts, the focus, and purpose of the community. But before that, let's define what is a community. A community is a group of people gathered together in a geographical area, large or small, who have common interests. There are two concepts of community developed by Roll and Warren. First, a geographic community are people in a specific geographic area. Second, a functional community is composed of people with common values, functions, and interests. Let's discuss the focus of community organizations. 1. Removal of blocks of growth. 2. Release of potentialities of individuals, groups, and communities. 3. Development of capacities to lead, to manage, and function in assigned roles. 4. Develop the ability of different sectors to function as an integrated whole. 5. Strengthen people's capacity for problem solving, decision making, and cooperation. 6. Full use of inner indigenous resources before tapping external resources. The last topic that we are going to discuss in our lesson is the purpose of community organizations. 1. To solve certain problems and meet needs. 2. To achieve selected social goals. 3. To strengthen a people's capacity in dealing with their problems, needs, and aspirations.
Happy learning at home with lessons made easy by Olivarian GoTeach. One proud Olivarian.